boy, does it feel good to be right. So last year, around this sort of time, I made a prediction video for 2022, and well, I got everything right. Well, almost everything, all but one. So I did 5 bold predictions for 2022. I'll put the link to the video somewhere. You can click on it, you can find it. You know what you're doing. So you can see I'm not making all of this up, but I actually predict 4 out of those 5 completely right. And I just kind of wanted to go through some of those now. So the first one that we did was MJF winning the world title in AEW. And that's what he's gone and done. We're now in the reign of terror, as it were, which has been great. There was a point in the year where I thought this might not happen. We got MJF vanishing into the wilderness. We then got him coming back. Was going to obviously feud with Punk. And then the brawl out or all out kind of happened. So there was a time where I thought that might not have happened. We might not have got this, but I'm so glad that we did. Like, MJF totally deserves this world title run. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does with it moving forward. We've already had him versus Ricky Starks, which has been great. He set up the feud with Bryan Danielson. So here's to maybe a year-long title run for MJF. And speaking of long title runs, the other one that I predicted was Roman Reigns not dropping the belt this year. I think this was an easy one to predict going into this year. We could obviously, the writing was on the wall with it, but it is WWE, so you never quite know what's going to happen. They can change what they want to do, what direction they're going to go in on a dime. I'm glad that they've done this. Like, it really cements Roman's legacy. Like, Roman is over the Rover, and we've got all this great Sami Zayn stuff, the Bloodline stuff, and I think having this long title run attached to that as well only makes that better. And going into the new year, seeing what's going to happen in the lead up to Mania, and is he going to drop that belt? Who's going to be the one to take it? We shall see. But it's been a nice thing, and I think we could all probably see that coming. So I can't take too much credit there, because I think all you guys and girls got that as well. But I did get it right, so we've got to mention it. And then the next one is a major star goes from AEW over to WWE. And I think in the video, if you go back and watch this, I thought, the first person to do it potentially was going to be Brian Cage. Shows you where Brian Cage was in the standings in AEW, that he was seen as a star over in AEW, and that he was disgruntled and that he was potentially going to leave and go to WWE. However, that's not what we got. We got Cody, the WrestleMania moment that I think will live on in infamy. Absolutely fantastic. And we then got the feud with Seth Rollins, which has been brilliant. Obviously, he's out with that injury, which I only think cements his legacy in this new run in WWE even more. Is he going to be the one to take the title off Roman? Remains to be seen. Is he probably going to come back at a Rumble if he's fit and healthy? Then yeah, great. That would be a great moment again. I think Cody's one of those people that gets wrestling is about great moments and making memories, and him coming over to Mania using the same entrance as AEW, the same character on WWE television. He got that with his torn pectoral. Like, I'm still surprised they let him wrestle with that, but that is a moment that will stay with a lot of people. And I think if you were a younger fan watching that, that is going to be etched in your mind, the moment where he takes off the robe and you just see all of his chest purple from the torn pec. So he was the one that went. Now, I thought there was going to be someone. I didn't pinpoint Cody exactly, but I think we all thought the writing's on the wall. People are going to start moving around, going from side to side, and that's what we've got, and that's what we're now seeing. So who knows who's going to be next to move either way, but there's obviously going to be more to come throughout the years, and long may that continue. I think that makes wrestling really exciting, because there's more opportunities for wrestlers. More opportunities for wrestlers means more storylines and more things that can happen across the board, more interactions between different people, and that, at the end of the day, is what I want to see. Then the last one that I got right was Okada coming to AEW. Now, I purposely say I don't think Okada's going to be All Elite. I use the term comes to AEW and is involved in AEW, and that is what we've got. We got the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, premium live event, whatever you want to call it, where he wrestled in a great match. Poor Adam Cole, got to mention that. Get well soon, mate. But I think we were all hoping that we'd get Okada there in some guise or another, and that is what we've got. It leads that door. I know we talk about the forbidden door, and leading up to that pay-per-view, that term definitely got overused, should we say? But it's great to see that he's there and that we can get more interactions between AEW guys, New Japan guys, and Okada is the king of New Japan, right? Like, I don't think anyone's going to argue that. Yes, you have the likes of Tanahashi, Naito up there with him, but that was a big one, right? That is what we wanted to see. Now, obviously, that then leaves the door open to Omega Okada somewhere down the line. Like, I don't think that's happening anytime soon based off current events, but it does leave that door wide open to get one of the greatest rematches that could possibly happen, right? From one of the greatest matches we've ever seen. So that was obviously fantastic. Like, it was great. I was really hoping that would happen. I was hoping he'd kind of drop in, be used a little bit, utilised for his skills, for his name, really broaden the horizons of some AEW fans there. And I think that's what he did. I think we got that. And then long may that continue, hopefully. And the rumours are Forbidden Door is going to be a yearly kind of thing. So we'll get more and more of that as time goes on, which will be great. Now, the only one out of my 5 bold predictions that I didn't get correct was, in fact, I said I didn't think Kenny Omega would wrestle at all. Now, if you looked up his injuries and what he was having to go through and the different surgeries he was having, Kenny was not in a good way. Kenny Omega was extremely injured and was basically wrestling while the world was turning around inside of him. Like, it's just wild to think what that man could do. So I thought, potentially, knowing Kenny and the way he likes to do things and the patience that he has, that he might just stay away for a little bit longer. Now, he was away for a while. We did get him come back, which I am happy to see. He is clearly healthy, and I think he also got another rest due to unforeseen circumstances that we would not have been able to predict going into this year at the start. Now, he's obviously back, and that's great, and he's clearly in a much healthier position. Watching his matches since he's returned has just been outstanding.